You use it in your personal life.
Yes.
Okay. You mentioned about your story, because I've been following you, and you mentioned about your dad was the president of the Ogboni and all that. So I'm sure that would have brought in some patterns into your family because you are the first generation. So how were you able to break and destroy, to become, coming from that background, to become a very powerful man of God? I mean, how did you achieve that within the space of 40-something years?
Yeah, in the first place, my father was, I believe he was the head of a Buni, and that's like the highest altar in Nigeria, Satanic altar. He was also a Freemason. He was also one of the highest ranking in the traditional altar we have in Cross River State is called Ekpe.
Wow.
Ekpe is very prominent in Cross River State, Akwa Ibom State, and some parts of Igbo land, Ohafia, Abriba, Arochukwu. That's the cults that controls that land.
Yeah.
Now, it took me 11 years to come out from foundations of what my father, grandfather, great-grandfather were into.
Wow.
Because they were custodians of major altars. But that took me a long time because I didn't have the knowledge I have now. Secondly, even after I was able to, physically go to locate those altars that my father and grandfather and great-grandfather were custodians, I went to those places and I had to, denounce, literally destroy them and denounce and break myself from them and my generations. But you know that even after all of that, I was able to rise to a certain level in ministry. Then I had an issue, and that issue was I would see myself in some very negative dreams. One of the dreams is that I would see myself wanting to go to the latrine, and it will be a toilet, and it will be like an outside toilet, like a pit toilet, and there will be feces scattered everywhere. And for me to get through that feces, you would have to know where to put your leg, not to be soiled and dirtied. And this is a dream that will keep on repeating and keep on repeating. And I said, God, what is this? A second dream I had was I would see myself on a journey late trying to get an international either flight or an international train or an international ship. And I'll be rushing to get to that appointment. And I know we are late. And we will just get there on time as the ship or the aeroplane is about to leave. I will enter that ship or that train, but my luggage will not enter. Now, when I had these issues, I called my wife because by that time, I think I was even in the UK, and we started praying, 3 days fasting, 3 days fasting. It was in the midst of that. That was where God brought to me the mystery of the blood. That's where he taught me the Holy Communion. That's where he taught me how to deal with this issue. He said, you have come to a level in your life and ministry. You have gone beyond any other person from your background, from your territory in ministry. And it's like you have broken the law because nobody is permitted from your place to rise because of the altars and the bloodshed. And it's like you're trying to go beyond what is permitted. And that's why these dreams are repeating to drag you back down. And I cried to God, what do I do? And he took me to the place in the book of Numbers where it talks about the manslayer. The manslayer. And the Bible says it's only when the high priest dies, you remain inside a city of refuge. That you remain in refugee status. You remain a prisoner. You have to leave where you have spent all your life establishing, investing, and go to this city of refuge, start all over again, and you'll be a prisoner there, until the death of the high priest. That once the death of the high priest takes place, you are now free from that city of refuge, from being a prisoner, from starting life, from refugee status. That death of the high priest is Jesus Christ. And I cried and said, God, how do I connect to him? He said, start to take Holy Communion.
Wow.
And I called my wife. I said, this is what we're going to do. We're going to be taking Holy Communion every day. What I am sharing, it was first of all me.
Wow.
And within 3 days, I've never had those dreams again. Never. Up to today, I've never.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So that was it. Powerful. That's how you came out. So after the first 11 years of, battling, foundational
those
issues,
things there was deliverance to an extent.
Yes.
Actually, God brought me out to an extent. I actually my profile was rising, but there's a level I could not go beyond. I got stuck. Because that's what is a city of refuge. You are stuck. You can't come out from that place. The day you come out, you'll be killed by the slayer of blood. So I was stuck until the death of the high priest.
Wow. Wow. So would we say that's similar to what happened in Zechariah chapter 3, where, Joshua the high priest was standing before God, and he was praying, and the angel of the Lord was there, and Satan came and was opposing him. So that was like a limit.
Yeah.
And the Lord said, is this not the brand, plucked from the fire?
Yeah.
And that they had to take away the garments of iniquity. So those things were iniquity that was trying to block the blessing and all that. So,
exactly. Now let me give you insight on that, what you're sharing.
Yeah.
Because there's a difference between sin, transgression, and iniquity.
That's correct, yeah.
Sin is the actions of evil. But when you talk of iniquity, it is iniquity. It's in you. It's indwelling. It is inherent, inherited. That's the difference between iniquity. So what he was suffering, Joshua, it was not that he himself was committing sin. It was what he has inherited from his ancestors. And Jesus, when he died, Isaiah 53 says, he was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquity. Wow. So the sins and the transgressions, there was outside beatings that Jesus received, because sin is outward acts, but iniquity is internal. So he was bruised, that is internal bleeding, for the internal transgression. So Jesus was a complete package.
Wow. Wow. So the blood takes away the iniquity, the garments of iniquity, the turban of everything. And just make you fly and achieve your purpose on earth.
Yes.
I mean, that's a deep revelation which, we need to really, really emphasize on and let the people know about it. Because people emphasize more on break, bind, loose, and they keep doing it and they're not really breaking through.
Yeah, it's good to break, it's good to bind, it's good to loose, but it is those breaking and binding and loosing have to be done focusing on Calvary. You get to Calvary. Outside of Calvary, you will spend the next 30 years breaking. That's why I have a problem with that, because when I see people every day, I break. I say, what? Tomorrow, next Sunday again, I break. I say, me, I'm not joining you. I've already broken. I am free. I can't pray those prayers again. I'm no more breaking covenant. I believe in making covenant, not breaking.
Not breaking, wow.
You make covenants with God, not breaking.
Yeah.
Breaking should be once and for all. Breaking covenant should be an issue you handle once in your life, and you move forward. You don't keep on breaking.
Yeah.
If every day I break, then it means that the work of Jesus was useless.
So applying the blood and is the key thing. Taking the communion.
Yes.
We deal with all those. Once you have broken the initial foundation thing, then you just ride on, because that's what I can understand.
Yes.
That you took 11 years, dealt with those foundational things, broke all the causes, all the covenants and everything. Then you now apply the blood, because that's why it's important for us to have a relationship with God. Because if not that you had a relationship with him, you wouldn't have caught that revelation, that the blood. Because a lot of people always trivialize the communion. Yeah. They wouldn't have known that the communion has the power to deal with that, deal with all those things that is still opening the gates for demonic interference and attack. So, it's important for us to really, really, take note of these things and practice it, holistically and believe that it will work, because sometimes people want it to happen immediately. Because I believe that some people, you have to take it over time, and then you start seeing progress, does it have to be immediately? I think some can be instant, some can be over time as I take the communion.
Yeah.
So because once you believe in it, just like, for example, if you're taking your real medicine, doctors prescribe, they will tell you maybe over 7 days.
Yeah.
So after that, if nothing happens, then so I believe it's the same thing with when you're applying or taking communion.
Yes, sir.
That some might be instantaneous, some might be over time. As you just do it consistently, believing, doing it with understanding, revelation, and faith, then you will see the results, things turning around for you. Yeah. Wow, that's been a very wonderful